if you went to Michael Jordan and you said, Michael Jordan, you're the greatest basketball player that ever lived, I'm going to challenge you to a rock climbing contest. You have 10 weeks to prepare. And you've been rock climbing for 4 years in elite level rock climbing gyms. Do you think Michael Jordan would beat you, even though he was a great athlete? So when I'm seeing a 38-year-old with a bad hip and people getting behind him, I'm thinking to myself, a 38-year-old wrestler with a bad hip, this guy's not going to win. Then when he showed up on weigh-in day and he literally looked like the fattest I've ever seen him. He didn't even train. If you're training, you're sweating, you're eating right, you're going to be in that 175, 180 range for his frame. He's 191 and 35-40% body fat. And I immediately said to myself, I'm not paying for this. I'm not going to pay for this because this guy's like making a joke. He didn't take it seriously. I put this comment on a video. I said, this guy's going to get embarrassed. Because the video, he was coming off a little arrogant and prideful, kind of like how he was when he was going to fight Masvidal. He's like, oh, just do whatever I want. I'm a world-class athlete in 4 sports or whatever. And here's the comments. Ben wins, no doubt. I doubt, but we'll see. Based on what? Paul has a solid punch. When has Jake Paul actually stood in a ring with anyone who thought he could actually beat his arse? Askren fights the toughest guys. Paul handpicks his opponent. Can't wait to see the look on Jake's face when he realizes he's in there with a real fighter. It's gonna be hilarious. They're not in a wrestling match. They're in a match where all you can do is fight. And in the fights where Ben did get punched in the face, he scrambles and wrestles the people out. He exhausts them. And when you're fighting a wrestler and he 2, 3 rounds, 4 rounds of wrestling, you're exhausted. Your striking suffers, so your punches have a little less kick in them. I said it in another video. I think Ben is going to get embarrassed, but hey, you never know. Straight up fight, he murders Jake Paul. Jake Paul could fight 51 times against non-boxers, YouTubers, basketball players, and David Schwimmer. In Jake's Paul head, that's greater than Floyd Mayweather. If Jake Paul wants credit after any fight, he needs to fight proper boxers. I find it so interesting how people hate an internet celebrity so much. Like, people actually hate him that they basically do a whole psychoanalysis profile on the guy in their mind. How would he get embarrassed? Haven't you heard any of his interviews? He doesn't care anyway. It's a paycheck. Patrick, I realized that when he showed up 195 pounds at the scale and smiling with a huge grin. I said, this guy doesn't care. He's in there for a paycheck and get out. Jake's not just a YouTuber. He's training his butt off. He's still never fought a legit competitor. If you were going into a war, would you want a runner or a gymnast with you? Or someone who'd fought wars before? If I'm going into a boxing match, I want someone who's boxed. So your analogy doesn't even make sense. Hearing Masvidal saying, but if it goes after the second round, then Ben starts, you understand Jake has 0 to no chance of winning. 0 to no chance of winning. At least we bet it before the line changes. A guy who's been training for 3 to 4 years with world-class boxers in a very famous boxing gym has a 0% chance to win against a 38-year-old overweight wrestler with a bad hip. Like, I feel like people's hate for someone, you hate someone so much, you don't even think logically. There's a lot of people that trash talk and have a lot of confidence in their voice, but everyone can have that confidence shoved back down their throat. Ben is going to toy with Jake, and then the later rounds, he's going to show them Jake's still a little boy. Bro, I don't get people. Someone needs to make a video like this, but when the person being interviewed says Logan's little brother will knock Ben out, they will watch the Lawler fight and then respond again. You have to understand, in the Lawler fight, he says he didn't get knocked out, but if you watch it, it looks like he got knocked out cold, right? So Lawler's punching him in the floor. This is MMA, so Ben comes to and scrambles out of it. In boxing, they just stand you up and you have to get punched again. So in other words, there's no out for Ben Askren into his specialty. He just has to sit there and let his bad boxing shine, if you will. Ben Askren, dude, it was such a payday. And when he weighed in and he was overweight and 35% body fat and he had the biggest smile, I said, this guy's just in it for the paycheck. I knew I wasn't going to buy it. So I hope you guys can... I don't know, there's no point to this video other than I was reading those comments and I'm like, guys, like, logic, think logic.